Yo! What's up, my creeps? How the heck are you guys? If you guys can read behind me, Mcmenamins Breweries, and they got this cool old school like witch character. If you guys don't know who Mcmenamins are, you're missing out. It's definitely one of the best breweries in Portland. These guys own a bunch of different establishments, and every single one I've ever been to, love their food, love their service. And not to mention, when I drank beer, it was the go-to spot. There's a couple other breweries in Portland, Mcmenamins, Rogue Ale, excellent as well. But Mcmenamins has been established in Portland for a long time, and they've kind of taken over. They've got a whole bunch of establishments, like I said. But I am at one of the most famous of their establishments. I am here in historic Troutdale, Oregon, at the home of Edgefield, which is Mcmenamins Breweries, which is a historic hotel. It's a historic building, but it's now used as a hotel for this brewery, and word is that it's haunted. So one of these times I'm going to go back and we're going to do a full vlog, investigation, or whatever you want to call it, into the history of the Mcmenamins Edgefield and how it's supposedly haunted and the backstories that go with it. But that's not what I wanted to bring you guys here for today. What I wanted to bring you guys here for today was something really special, and his birthday is actually coming up in a couple weeks, and that gentleman is, well, let me just show you the statue first. I call it a tree because it looks more of like a tree to me, or an art piece. But let's see if you guys can pick who it is before I kind of tell you or give it away. And so first of all, though, I want to show you a little bit more of what Edgefield has to offer out here. If you guys can see behind me, not only how beautiful it is with all the greenery and the trees, but directly over here is the main stage for the concerts that are held here as well. And in the summertime, they have a tremendous amount of artists that come through here. Willie Nelson's been known to come. And it's just a great venue. It's a great place to come. It's a family-friendly place. Plenty of room, plenty of beautiful trees. And if you guys can see up here in the distance, there's like a Sasquatch-looking guy with his big teeth waiting to greet you as you walk through to go back to the brewery. And neither of those was the main reason why I wanted to show you guys. What I wanted to show you guys is this. And if you guys pan over here to the right, you will see what I'm talking about. And this, my friend, is Mr. Jerry Garcia. That's right. If you don't know who Jerry Garcia is, I'm very sorry. You're missing out big time, but he was the lead guitarist, vocalist, frontman for the group The Grateful Dead. And Jerry was born August 1st of 1942 and passed away August 9th of 1995 due to a heart attack that he suffered during a drug rehabilitation stay. So unfortunately his life was cut short, but they have erected this really nice, beautiful art statue piece for Mr. Garcia. And the more I'm looking at this, the more I'm noticing great detail, which I thought was really cool. First, let's go in and check out the face a little bit more, because I think this artist did such a beautiful job and rendition of capturing Jerry in such a great moment. And also, which I thought was like one of the coolest parts of this statue, is all the little hidden pieces. Now, if you look closely, you notice Jerry is playing his guitar, and if you zoom in real close, you can tell that what he's playing is actually a skull. And Grateful Dead was known to use a lot of skeletons and stuff in their logos, and maybe Jerry was just a huge fan of skeletons. But if you can see, he's strumming the brain, or the skull if you will, and it's cracked. So he's kind of picking the brain of somebody, if you will, and then if you can see, it's kind of like in the shape of his guitar. And something that I noticed something that was told to me a long time ago by a good buddy of mine, who goes by Kels, who is a huge Grateful Dead fan, to this day still follows all of the, branch off bands from the Garcia band to Bob Weiss. But he told me that Jerry was involved in a accident when he was a kid, and he actually lost his finger. And if you guys can see, the artist actually did that here, where he left the finger misplaced he had it chopped off with an axe from an accident with his brother when they were chopping wood. So if you guys can also see, if you look really close, as I'm kind of slowly moving around the statue, you guys will notice there are a bunch of little hidden objects and creatures. If you look up here, to me this looks like maybe like a hippo face of some sort, with his little eye and mouth and nose, which I thought was amazing. This thing is so beautiful. Yes, this is way cool. And also, if you guys can see, look real closely, there's like a tortoise shell down here as well. So the artist definitely captured a lot of really beautiful creatures and things that Jerry basically loved. And yeah, man, this thing is amazing. I really like the statue, and it rests between these trees, and it's just so cool. They just did such great work and homage. The original designer, by the name of Joel Colton, he passed away in 2005, but he almost missed his opportunity to make this statue for the Mcmenamins family. He was a worker here and had done other sculptures for them in the past, and actually was a huge follower of the Dead himself, but they gave him a specific deadline and he didn't fill it in time, but they kind of worked with them and were able to get this statue in. So what a beautiful piece, and shout out to anybody that had anything to do with getting this here or designing it. What a beautiful piece. Now, I know Jerry had his qualms and quos just like everybody else. He had struggled with heroin and cocaine use. But I like to remember the good things. Like at one point, Rolling Stone named him like the 10th or 11th top greatest guitarist of all time. Ramblin' Rose, I love that song. Truckin', basically anything by the Dead. I was informed that there was never the same set twice. So anytime you would go see a show, they basically would perform everything new, or they would never play the same set, so they always kept it really fresh, and that was something that always stuck with me. And my buddy Kels, like I said, is a huge Grateful Dead fan, so he always gave me info, and when I'd be working with him, he'd always put Grateful Dead on, so I was kind of subjected to listening to them whether I wanted to or not, and they grew on me so much. I think it's Dead Man's Working Dead Man or something like that. That one of the albums is so good, and my favorite is probably the Ramblin' Rose, or Friend of the Devil's a Friend of Mine. If I make it home before sunlight, I might get some sleep tonight. Yeah, definitely Jerry was one of the greatest guitarists and musicians, and at one point he was quoted by saying that the vibes that come off of his music goes back into the crowd, and then he would feel the vibes from the crowd back, so it was a give and take, and just genuinely a cool dude. I've watched some articles and some info on different things about him, and yeah, man, definitely needed to come up here and see this myself. Now, August 1st marks his birthday, and people up here at Mcmenamins are known to gather around this sculpture, statue, art piece, if you will, and kind of line the statue or piece with roses, which I thought was beautiful. They'd line them all the way around the ring of his head and down his shoulders, and it just looks so beautiful. And I believe if you go online and Google it, there are images of that I was not able to find any video of this, so I wanted to definitely take you guys up here and show you this. So what a beautiful, beautiful piece. And it's such a beautiful day here in Portland. It's cooled down a lot, and I'm able to get out and get you guys this beautiful piece of Mr. Jerry Jerome Garcia. And with that being said, I'm going to give you guys one more shot, and make sure you guys hit that like button if you haven't. And if you haven't, please hit that bell so that you guys can creep with me more often. And maybe one of these days I can come up here and we can come see a show, and I'll bring the camera and we can video this again and video some people up here. This place is usually packed full of people. It's midday right now, so I'm not even sure if they're officially opened. I was just welcomed with open arms by one of the groundskeepers, so that was really nice. But appreciate the Mcmenamins family. I appreciate all my creepers, everybody that's been creeping since day one. You guys seriously rock. And with that being said, creeper out for now. Love you guys. Peace.